So the onus for this project that we were working on comes from the fact that it's our third birthday here at the Publican. Our GM came to me 3 weeks ago and said, "Michael, I want you to make a beer for our birthday." And I immediately said, "Oh shit, I better call John Laffler." So I called John and said, "Hey," or texted you and said, "Hey man, I need to make a beer in 3 weeks for our anniversary. Is there something we can do?" And you kind of responded, had some ideas.
Of course, yes. We started talking about the different beers that we really enjoy and really like. We both do a lot of blending in our jobs. You make your lambics, which are fantastic.
Thank you very much.
Love the fruit ones. Michael and I get together quite often, just talk about whatever fruit's in season and different maceration and infusion techniques, which is always fun.
Awesome.
We didn't really have time to do anything along those lines. It will probably be a future project. But for this, we just started talking about the beers that we really enjoy. A lot of the beers we really like are saisons. A lot of the beers we really enjoy are things with nice acid to them. It works really well with the cuisine here, and there's beers that we love.
So we had an idea of trying to articulate or try to emulate,
Get some of those flavors together. It's not the most easy task.
No.
But I'm pretty happy with how it turned out.
I'm very happy with how it turned out. Yeah. So we basically worked together to make a series of saisons, roughly, and
kind of outside what a style would be, which is something which I really enjoy about these beers. Though historically, saison is not really a category of styles, a family of beers. So I think these very much fit in that vein. Well, it's not quite a lambic, it's not quite a saison, it's not quite anything.
It is what it is, but actually an interesting thing that I kind of really enjoyed was that historically, and you've read that same book, the Phil Markowski book about farmhouse ales, they're talking about the history of saison and that a lot of it was fresh and it wasn't sour yet, but as you got to taste and drink the beer later on, it actually tasted more like Goose than our normal interpretation of a straight-up Saccharomyces-based saison. So I think this has similar character.
We did a couple dry hops with this beer, so we did a few iterations. The bulk we did a very cool French hop called Sizzle Spalt. Comes from the Alsace region of France. Earthy, spicy, similar in style of hops to noble hops. It's kind of you cross a fuggle, like the English earthiness, with some of the grassy, noble, spicy characteristics of a Saaz or a Teton.
So that was the first one, and we did about a half barrel of that. And then we broke the rest of the next half barrel down into 5-gallon batches and used a couple other hops. One of the one was it this year's Hallertau?
Yeah, it's the new crop. So every year the hop crop comes in early fall. So our brewmaster was out, and a couple of our brewers were out doing hop selection, picking the hops for next year. So we actually literally go to the farms and pick the acreage where our hops come from. So they came back with all these wonderful samples of the hops that we're buying for next year. We're kind of you have 5 ounces of this, 6 ounces of that. Not really enough to do a big beer with. But these are gorgeous hops. So the timing was just right. So we had the new crop year of Citra, of Chinook, and the last one we did was
the Hallertau.
Yeah, the Hallertau.
So right in front of us we have the Strisel Spalt, and then we have the Chinook, which obviously the difference between the two styles of hops is greatly different, and actually the difference between the two beers is greatly different. So regardless, the plan is we're going to have the Strisel Spalt on the entire weekend of our birthday, and then we're going to go through a 6-barrel of one hop, the 6-barrel the next, and the next throughout the weekend, so people can see the dichotomy between the hops. I couldn't be more excited. I think both of these beers turned out excellent.
I wholeheartedly agree. We've been sipping on these for a little while, so a lot of my foam died, but we had really nice, gorgeous foam, which always makes me happy. The Chinook is just super citrusy, ton of tropical fruit notes, covered really nicely with the pepper.
I mean, it's literally like biting in the amalgam of papaya and pineapple.
A lot of pineapple.
A lot of pineapple.
And the squizzles, just like the hop is.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you can imagine a Fuggle and a Saaz, they're very close.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, happy birthday, guys. We're really excited for you. We always love coming here. Always love working with you.
Ditto, man. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Cheers.